question is, how much can I earn as a lawn care business owner? So I'll start with what to expect in the very beginning and what you can expect as you scale the company to seven figures and beyond. So let's talk about you in a truck mowing by yourself. I think that's how most of us start out. But let's assume you already have the mowers and the equipment and a truck, or else there's going to be huge expenses. Let's just assume you already have those things. In that stage of the business, if you're not dumping a huge amount into equipment and marketing, I think you're going to be able to put 70 to 80% in your pocket because you're doing all the labor. There's almost no overhead. It's incredibly low, so a high percentage of it goes back to you. In the next stage, let's say you have yourself and a couple employees working with you. You're going to have to pay them somewhere around a third of the revenue that they generate for the company. And assuming you're still in the field doing work, you should still be able to take home around 40%. And that can be a spot in business where you're taking home a pretty good income without tons of headache. You could take home 100,000, 120, 130,000, somewhere in that range, depending on how full your schedule is and how profitable the services are that you're doing. At the next stage, let's assume you have 4 employees. You get kind of sick of answering all the phone calls and the emails. You're just getting pretty busy, so you're trying to take stuff off your plate. That person is doing the emails and the phone calls is completely non-billable, meaning while they're on the clock, they're not directly earning you money. So yes, they're freeing up your time so you can move the company to the next level. But because of that, the 40% you were earning before with only a couple employees might drop clear down to 30%. You have twice the clients, twice the headaches, but you only might be making 10 or 20,000 more per year. And so at that point, you'll probably be earning around 130,000 a year, which is a pretty good income. But at that size of business, it's easy to get pretty frustrated. It's easy to think, man, when I only had 2 guys, I had half the headaches and I only earn a little bit more now. So it's easy to get pretty frustrated. And I think it's important to really push hard through that. So let's say the next phase is you've got 6 employees and it's time for you to get completely out of the field doing the billable labor. And so all the money that you were generating, you're having to pay employees instead. And let's say because you're having to pay people to do the work you were doing, your 30% is going to drop to, let's say, 25%. And so you're up to 6 employees and your income went from 130,000 to 150,000. You know, the business is even bigger. There's more people to manage. There's more complaints. There's more headaches. And it's easy to wonder, what in the world am I doing with this pretty good sized company that's, when I only had 2 employees, I only earned a little bit less, I had way less headaches, and it almost feels like it's not worth it. And at this point, you're probably around 500,000 a year. And let's say that you grind and you push through and you make it through the 500,000 and you scale clear up to $1 million per year, the magical number. You have about 10 employees. You're completely out of the field. You have a secretary answering phone calls. You've made it to $1 million, but you're still have the same overhead. You're still at 25% per year. And 25% of $1 million, that's 250,000 per year. Your income is finally getting to where it's like, okay, I'm getting paid pretty dang well now. It starts to feel really worth it. And at that point, what I found is right around $1 million, you start feeling like you're about maxed out again. So what we did is we hired a full-time estimator and a salesperson. Because of that, you know, the percent you take home goes down again. Another non-billable person goes from about 25%, let's say, down to 22%. But because of that, you'll be able to scale from $1 million to, let's say, $1.5 million. And 22% of $1.5 million is $330,000. And so now you're getting into some real money. This is a good income. And of course, along the way, anytime around $1 million, if you are willing to give up some of the profits, you can put a general manager in place, and they can take most or even all the responsibility off of you. And that's when your company goes from a job to more of an investment. So so at that point you can your company, let's say you're at 1.5 million, you can take home 200,000. You can pay your general manager, let's say 150,000 a year to run the company for you, and you have a really good investment that you've built. And you can even imagine beyond that. I have people I'm aware of, friends, doing close to 5 million a year, and they're at 20% still. You can, 20% of 5 million is $1 million a year. So as you really push the business and grow, you'll see these different phases. It's easy, you know, 300 to $600,000 range, it to be really frustrated. But if you're able to push through, when you get close to 1 million, you'll be like, holy cow, I'm actually starting to see some real money here. Um, so I encourage you to, if you're in the kind of that wilderness, they call it, the middle ground, just like on your way to 1 million, push through. You're going to feel like you're earning practically nothing compared to what you were when you were much smaller. But when you get close to 1 million, you'll wake up one day and realize, okay, I'm actually getting paid well now. So let me know if you have any questions.